Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. And on this episode, I want to talk to you about last night's exhibition game with the Kentucky Wildcats. You know, they tipped off their Big Blue Bahamas tournament, and their first exhibition game, they actually looked very impressive. The first thing that I want to talk about is their defense, right? Their defense was crazy good tonight, and it kind of really seemed scary because they just seemed to really, like, the only person that I could even say that they used that may be a little suspect on defense right now is CJ Frederick. He's still not 100% healthy. He's nursing his leg injury, so maybe he might be a little hindered, but he seemed to be the only one that was a little off balance when he was playing defense, but everybody else seemed to be really on point. They were shooting the passing lanes and creating steals. I think they actually had 13 steals, and it led to a whole lot of transition buckets. They were blocking shots around the basket. I think they had 10 blocks because they just was using a lot of length. It was really surprising to me, actually, but they were going with really big lineups. They were using a lot of the times they were using what you might even say is like a 3-center lineup. They would have Sheboy and Ware and Collins in at the same time, or they would have Toppin and Sheboy and Collins, and they was just mixing it up a lot, and they had 3 really big guys that's capable of rebounding and blocking shots around the basket, and that's how they ended up with 10 block shots. They were defending everything around the paint, and I can't even overshadow the guys on the perimeter. Like I said, they were shooting the passing lanes like crazy, but a lot of that was due to the fact that they had guys like Severe Wheeler and Casey Wallace just hounding the ball handlers, and they were forcing them to make tough passes, and it was leading to guys like Adu Thero and others shooting the passing lanes and getting out and getting a lot of buckets in transition. I think they actually scored like 32 points in transition, but overall, Kentucky's defense, I think they held the Dominican team to, I think it was 33% shooting and 21% from 3. So overall, man, they were just playing some crazy good defense, and it was very, very encouraging because at the end of the day, you need a top-notch defensive team to be able to win a championship. Our last championship team, the 2012 team, was very, very efficient on defense. They had rim protection. They had on-ball defenders. They had great rebounders. And I feel like this team, now they might not have Anthony Davis that's going to get you 5 or 6 blocks a game, but collectively they have a great enough presence around the basket that they're going to be able to worry a lot of teams and contest a lot of shots at the rim. So if we can get anywhere from 8 to 10 blocks a game and we are rebounding like 30 plus rebounds, we should have a really efficient and strong defense, and I'm looking forward to see what they do once the competition steps up, because at the end of the day, if you can always play defense, you can always guarantee you at least have a shot. Your offense might not be clicking, your shots might not be falling, but if you give a great effort on defense and you can rebound and control the glass, you will have a shot to win some games. And I feel like this team is going to be one of those teams that's going to be highly active. They all seem to play hard. It's nobody out there that's taking plays off. Everybody seems hungry and motivated, and it's a really good sign for me. But moving on to the offense, one thing that surprised me was they actually shot the 3 ball really well. I think they might have shot 42% from 3, which is very encouraging because a lot of times Kentucky has had good teams, but they just really didn't shoot the ball well. And this year's team seems like they have a few guys that are going to be able to light it up. Now, I wasn't expecting Chris Livingston to shoot the 3 as good as he did. He completely shocked me. But if he can do anything remotely close to that on a consistent basis, he could potentially end up being one of the best players on the team, because he just kind of seems like a guy that's just going to be like a matchup problem for a lot of teams, because he has really good size. He can score off the bounce, and tonight he just looked like a or yesterday, I would say, he looked like he was just pulling up on his man and shooting his jump shot really easy. I think he ended up being 3 or 4 from 3 point land or something like that. But man, he was stroking it, and we obviously know Antonio Reeves. That's what he does. He just gets buckets. He seems like he's going to be a really consistent shooter for us. And CJ really didn't even get to play as much as we hope that he will get to during the course of the season. Like I said, they still trying to protect him a little bit and work him back in slowly. So he really didn't get a chance to really shine that much. But I mean, that's a guy that, we didn't even really get to see the best of him, and we still shot a high percentage from 3. So hopefully once he gets back into game shape and gets 100% healthy, he'll just add to Kentucky's ability to hit the 3 ball. So I was really impressed with that. Casey Wallace didn't actually shoot the 3 ball really well, but I still have faith that he's going to hit 1 or 2 a game. He just seems like a good enough shooter that eventually he'll get hot, he'll figure it out, and he'll hit some shots. And maybe he might have just been tired because he was working so hard doing everything else. He was taking over a lot of the point guard duties, which I think he's going to be a nice switch off whenever Wheeler goes out the game. He's a combo guard, so he's going to be doing some scoring and he's going to be doing some distributing. But overall, I liked how he played because he was just running the offense really well. He has really good pace and change of speed to his game. He knows when to attack. He knows when to slow it up and get other players involved. So I'm really confident in him. And the biggest surprise of the night for me was Damian Collins, though. Now, I knew that Damian Collins could dunk and stuff like that. I mean, we know he's a really lengthy athletic player. Like, we already knew that about him. But what shocked me was he was facing up his man and doing like 1 to 3 dribbles and pulling jump shots, man. And that's one thing I didn't know he had in his bag. So if Collins can consistently score like that, man, he's going to actually turn out to be a really nice player for us because, like I said, I wasn't even aware that he could make moves like that. I thought he was really limited offensively, but he looks like he's got a couple of tricks in his bag, man. So I was really encouraged to see him playing free. Now, I know he got in certain spots when he goes to the air. He's almost unstoppable because he's so athletic and his wingspan is so great that there's just certain places that when he gets in the air, you're going to probably just have to surrender it or you're going to put him on the free throw line. And Kentucky, one thing they did well, they shot free throws excellent. So I'm very excited to see them attack because I know they're capable of making their free throws. But like I said, I was really encouraged to see Collins, making his little 3 dribble pull-ups. I really love that. I hope that he stays confident and stays with that during the course of the season. And hopefully it'll keep his minutes going up. And Calipari's going to have his hands full because he's got a lot of guys that he can play. Like, we know Oscar Tshiebwe is going to do what he does. I think he may have had 17 points. He didn't actually get as many rebounds as you would have thought that he had. He didn't get a double-double. But honestly, that's just because he's just got so much more help this year, I think. They were using the big lineups, so it was always usually him with 2 other big men. So he just didn't get the rebounds because it's just they were going to everybody. Kentucky as a group rebounded strong. So Oscar, I think he may have had 6 or 7 rebounds. But if we all know if whatever's necessary, if he needs to get 13 rebounds, we know he's capable of getting 13 rebounds, but he's probably not going to have to get as many this year. Hopefully he's going to have some guys in there that can take some pressure off of him. And like I said, things may even open up for him to be a little bit more efficient on offense because this year it seems like we just got a whole lot more guys that can help him. Last year it seemed like, we couldn't really depend on a lot of people at certain points, so we had to just kind of force the ball to him. We kind of had to dump it on him and hope that he can carry it sometimes, and a lot of the times he did. But this year, I think guys are going to be able to take some pressure off of him. We just seem like we got a lot of shot makers. We got a lot of playmakers. Severe Wheeler, the only thing that I really didn't like about Severe is I feel like he still was playing the same way he did last year. Last year, He forced the pace a lot. He was trying to run, and we had a lot of baskets. We had a lot of fast break points, and we had a lot of transition baskets. But I think this year, if these players can consistently be this efficient on offense, I think Severe will have to tone some of his attacking back. He's not going to have to drive to the hole as much. And a lot of times last year, he would drive to the basket and get stuck in there with the trees and make some mistakes. So this year, I think he'll be able to pick his spots a little better, and he can figure out when he does need to attack. Because I feel like in the half-court offense, we'll be a little more stable this year. We'll have some guys that can score, some guys that can make some shots. Toppin is playing a lot more free. He's scoring. He's attacking off the dribble. He's shooting pull-up jumpers. So I think overall we're just going to have a better offensive team. But like I said, I was at all throughout the summer, I have been getting excited and been thinking that we need to go small. We need to play like a more perimeter-based lineup so that we could shoot more jumpers. But after seeing this big lineup, now I'm kind of starting to like the big lineup. I like the size, and I like rotating that core group of guards. And Chris Livingston is like one of the X factors because he can play out in the perimeter. You could play him at shooting guard, or if you go small, you maybe can even play him at power forward. So he's going to be a real big key for us because he just going to bring so much versatility. He might end up being the most versatile player that we have this year. But overall, man, I really enjoyed what I saw out of these guys. I think his team has a lot of potential. I think the sky's the limit for these guys. I think that this team is capable of hanging banner number 9. Now, will they do it? We still got to wait and see. I don't want to get too hyped because I know this was an exhibition game, and I got to wait and see them do it against some better competition and see if they can still remain this consistent. If they can consistently be this good or even somewhat close to this, I think we're going to have one of the strongest teams in the country this year. But I cannot wait to see them play the next game to see if they can still bring this type of energy. And the thing that I liked is even when they actually got up big on this team, they didn't let up on them, right? And a lot of times when you're easily beating a team, a lot of times you tend to like let up off the gas and you let the team get back in the game. But I believe that the Dominican team's biggest run was only 6 points. So it seems like as soon as they started to get some momentum, Kentucky would just cut it off and get some baskets. So I think Kentucky's biggest run was only 9 points. But still, if you limit the team, their biggest run to 6 points, then that means that whenever they get hot, you're cutting it off with defense. And that's what I like to see. So honestly, I just feel like this team could be really special. I still got to wait and see. Like I said, I know that I got to wait for some better competition, but overall I was impressed. So, you let me know, what did you think? Were you excited about them like I was? I mean, do you think that, am I overhyping it a little bit? Like, am I getting too excited? Do I need to just chill because, it was an exhibition game? Let me know what you think, and we'll get back at it next time. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson.